here and welcome to the first video of my build series on my new Tamiya TT02 Type S. Now I'm not going to go through the full build process because a lot of it is the same as the standard TT02 and I've already built one of those in detail, but I thought I would start with steps 1 to 3, which is installing the prop shaft. And surprisingly, step 1 isn't plugging the battery in. As you can see, I've got all the bits laid out and I've already built up step 2, or part of step 2. But I thought I would show you this first step. There's a little note telling you to trim off any excess on these connections here, which I've already done, just to smooth it down. And I thought I'd show you this because this bit can be a bit fiddly. We need part GB3 to slide over after you put your bearing on, and then there's part BA7, which is surprisingly 2 by 9.8mm steel shaft. And what you have to do is line the holes up here with, I think you can just possibly see inside there, there's what do they call it now, a groove in part GB3, and then you just pass the pin through the hole and line it up like so, and then you get your 70 spur gear and pop it over the bearing, and then the bevel gear, and then you should get your prop shaft, and that should slot in somehow. Can't see, and that end slots in, and then it just drops in. And then on this front bit you need to line the bearings up. There's one at the back there and one right at the front, like so. And then we need part D2, which sits over like so, and screws 1 and 2. So I'll just get them up and we can carry on with the diffs. Steps 4 to 6 are installing the diffs. You make 2 up, and I've already made one and installed it and everything, and we've just got this second one to go. And rather than using the normal grease for this part, I've been using this Tamiya anti-wear grease to give the gears some stiction, as I like to call it, because it's very sticky grease, and it sort of imitates, shall we say, a limited slip diff to some degree. And you don't need massive amounts of this, and we just paint it on with a paintbrush, and it pops in like so. Slide on, and then we just need the 4 screws. And as you can see, I use a paintbrush for most of my grease applications, sometimes, or some of the time. And to save the brush and to stop getting grease everywhere, I tend to use a balloon and just pop the brush in, like so, and especially with this AW grease, once it's in, squeeze the brush hairs and it generally stays on because it's that sticky. So I'll finish that off. Once you've done that, you then need to mount it back into the chassis using the ball bearings supplied, and it goes in here. And I will say, check the orientation of these diffs, because if you get them the wrong way, or if you get one of them the wrong way round, then the car's not going to go anywhere. And I've got one of these covers, A4, they're the same front and back, and what I've done here is to help prevent dust getting in. I've gone round with some ordinary grease just to hopefully make a seal. So we'll get that slapped in and we can continue. The last three steps of parts bag A, 7 to 9, are installing the motor and, for some reason, putting the battery on charge at step 9. Who knows what Tamiyas are thinking of. Anyway, the motor is already done. I'll put the motor plate on and I've screwed it into the 22 tooth pinion gear holes, ready to go on. I'll put the pinion gear on with the grub screw, and according to the note here, it needs to be 10mm from the top of the plastic mount, so you can quite easily measure that with a ruler. You don't need anything special. So that's all ready to go in, and it just slots in like so. And then, unlike I did on my TT02 ordinary build where I forgot, it's held in place by 2 screws, one there and one there, like that. And then we need part D3, and again, as you'll see, I've gone around with some grease to hopefully seal it a bit better, including where the motor mount sits, and that just nips over like that, and it's held in place. 1, 2, 3, 4 screws there, and then you've got these 2 battery holder posts that need to screw in again from underneath here, which are part B2, but these are the really soft plastic, so only nip those up, otherwise you'll strip the threads. So I think I'll do that, and I think we'll leave it at that for this first video. So I hope you've enjoyed watching, and look forward to the next one when we can start parts pack B.